guard. Post the colors. Colors, turn, freeze, and colors.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of our national anthem by Cadet Derek Dennis.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, yet through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, colors, post. Order, colors, post, colors, check, stay, lock, colors, ready, cut, reset, hop. Order, hop, hop. Colors, turn.
Thank you. Please take your seats.
I have the distinct pleasure this evening of introducing our head table and distinguished guests. Would you please stand and be recognized as you are introduced? Colonel Matthew Wallace and his wife Shay Wallace. Colonel Kim Ramos. Current Detachment 157 Cadet Wing Commander, Cadet Donald Redley. Previous Detachment 157 Wing Commander, Cadet Brian McGill. Distinguished guests, Honorary Commander Mr. Phil Bellamy and his wife Erin Bellamy. Dr. William Grams, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and his wife Ann Grams. Dr. Tony Cortez, Chair of the Applied Aviation Sciences Department, and his wife Diane Cortez. Reverend David Keck, ERU Chaplain. Friends of the University and Det 157, U.S. Air Force Major Retired and Air Force Association member Doug Lynch and his wife Christine Lynch. Bear Creek veterans, Silver Wings Challenger chapter members, and last but certainly not least, our Detachment 157 alumni.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2015 Air Force ROTC Dining Out. Dining Out represents the most formal aspects of Air Force social life and is an opportunity for our cadets to meet in an environment of tradition and good fellowship. The invocation will now be delivered by Reverend David Keck.
Good evening. As I've gotten to know some of you, I realize that you guys work really hard. And so I'm tempted to say, work hard, play hard. So tonight is a night of celebration, which seems to say play, but play is also ordered and structured. It's the setting aside of time and place for something special, whether it's a baseball game or a celebration like tonight. Play is wonderful, and it's something that celebrates what you're doing. So thank you for inviting me here and allowing me to be part of this. The word that comes to mind as I think of you is hope. There's courage, there's dedication, there's perseverance. But when I think of you and your commitment and the way you live, I think of hope, which is one of the theological virtues. And so I'm very grateful. Let's give thanks together for this evening. At the end of this invocation, I'll pause and say, let all God's children say, and invite you to respond with, amen. Okay? Let's give thanks. Thank you, dear God. Thank you for the blessings of this evening. Thank you for gathering us here to celebrate, to be together, to honor, to remember, and to enjoy the goodness of your creation, which is prepared for us this evening. We thank you for hard work and dedication. We thank you for hope, the hope that the people here live out, and the hope that they offer to our country. So we thank you for all these things. And let all God's children say, amen.
Thank you, Reverend Keck. Please rise as Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Magnus leads us in this evening's ceremonial toasts.
To the flag of the United States of America.
I propose a toast to our Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States.
I propose a toast to the Chief of Staff of the United States Army.
I propose a toast to the Commandant of the United States Marine Corps.
I propose a toast to the Chief of Naval Operations Unit
At this time, I would like to introduce the Detachment 157 POW MIA Honor Guard for a special presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of our gathering. You may have noticed the table set before you. It is filled with symbolism. I will explain. This table is set for our prisoners of war and those missing in action from all wars. Let us honor and remember them. Let us remember the United States Army, honored by Cadet Robinson. Let us remember the United States Navy, honored by Cadet Stanley. Let us remember the United States Marine Corps, honored by Cadet Wade. Let us remember the United States Coast Guard, honored by Cadet Carl. And let us remember the United States Air Force, honored by Cadet Reynolds. Let us remember the men and women, prisoners of war from all branches of service that are too often forgotten. Let us remember them. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms, so that their children could remain free. Remember, the lone candle symbolizes the frailty of a prisoner alone, trying to stand up against his oppressors. Remember, the black ribbon on the candle reminds us of those who will not be coming home today. Remember, single rose reminds us of the loved ones and families of our comrades in arms, who keep the faith and await their return. Remember, a slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate if we do not bring them home. There is salt on the plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait and remember. The glasses are inverted. They cannot toast with us today. Maybe tomorrow, if we remember. The red ribbon is tied to the flower vase by a yellow ribbon, worn by thousands who await their return. Remember. The faded picture on the table is a reminder that they are missed very much and are remembered by their families. Remember, they are not with us today. Their chairs are tipped but saved for their hoped return. Let us remember their absence. As you look upon this empty table, do not remember ghosts from the past. Remember our comrades. Remember those whom we depended on in battle. They depend on us to bring them home. Remember our friends. They are the ones we love, who love light and freedom as we do. They will remember all that we do. Please honor and remember them. Present! As Cadet Way extinguishes the candle, let us transfer its flame into our hearts and remember.
I propose a silent toast to our fallen brothers and sisters in arms. Now, please enjoy your salads as we look back at all the accomplishments that occurred in this year's year in review.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Vice.
the mess seems to be thirsty.
Indeed, fountain beverages are simply not enough to provide proper hydration.
Well, there's only one drink capable of replenishing such a thirst.
Yes, but due to those budget cuts we all love so much, we can't even afford a bowl of Gatorade. However, we did cook up some less than sanitary, thirst-quenching, foul broth. There are several stories as to the history of the grog. However, the most accepted is that it is an old British custom. Admiral Edward Vernon used to dilute the daily ration of rum given to each of his sailors. He would dilute it with water. He usually wore a Gogram cloak, and therefore was named Old Grog by his crew. As a result of this, the ration of rum became known as grog.
Good, looks good. Alright, I'll set it.
Representing the AS 100 class, a reminder that academics comes first, some nerds candy. For the AS 200 class, a reminder to refrain from using pop-offs at field training, some Pop Rocks. Representing the future leaders of the wing, for the AS 300 class, we had to go deep into the forest until we found a warthog with blood worthy enough to drink. Tomato juice. I mean blood. To represent the AS 400 class, a muffin baked by the gods. For the 7-800 class, to remind them that we will never forget their accomplishments, but more importantly, their misspelling of the word lightning, here's some alphabet soup. I think you should put 2 cans of that. When summoned to face this foul bidding, certain procedures must be followed. First, salute the grog, then fill your cup and perform an about face. Next, toast to the mess and consume everything in the cup. Everything. After that, place the cup upside down on your head. Lastly, do an about face, put the cup down, and salute the grog again. Representing the AS 100s one more time, nerds, AS 200s Pop Rocks, AS 300s blood, AS 400s muffin, AS 7 and 800s alphabet soup. Can all the people serving justice report to the grog and read the grog nominations?
Mr. Vice, this is a celebration. We need to turn up. So I brought some Sprite.
Representing cadre, here's some Sprite.
Good evening. I'm going to start this one off. Fall 14 hotel flight, this kid was pretty cool. Stepped up a lot, a wingman, never acted a fool. Until November and this past March when you grew that disgusting stash. Congrats to you, a clap or two. You won a deflated Nemo from the trash. But wait, hold on, there's much more to the story. It deals with greetings and re-greetings. You remind me of a creepy Dory. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, Batman. He greets me all the time. From behind a corner, from across the hall, you've got me paranoid like I've committed a crime. There is only one way to turn around this awkward greeting game or show. Good evening, Cadet Jake Sanzoni, to the groggy go.
I swear. It's a volunteer opportunity. Derek, how do you think I'm gonna go? Perfect. He's gonna call him up. Derek.
Alright, next up, with Luke White and Andre Martinez, come up here.
Derek.
These particular individuals deserve some recognition. A squadron of dedicated trainers, people first, and mission. Intensity and focused feedback is how we got things done. Probably the best 3 trainers that exist under the sun. Training officers Fight, Chomper, and Littlefoot were the best, we have the vision, but anyone would look good compared to our competition. Where shall we begin? How about the redheaded stepchild whose only focus is getting swole? We can't gain a soul.
Has anyone ever been sick from drinking this? No. Not that I'm aware.
There's a lot of white space.
I've had it quite a bit. I don't know.
Training Officer Crystal, are you coming to the meeting? Oh, you're sleeping? I guess that's all right. 3rd missed meeting this month. Stop throwing clipboards at your flight. No chains, mascots, no pride. We're T-stars. We have spirit in them. Why can't even try? So come on up and take what's coming. It's time for you to pay. Our little team of slackers, our good old squadron. His age isn't quite set. The guy's a total leader, a future Del Navy. That's once he took his grade float, and then he should run Navy.
Our fearless leader, Pacho, you knew this was coming. You know the group's in trouble when his biggest strength is running. All those Thursday nights spent, and you know where. I don't care if you have beautiful eyes or a piercing stare. All those false promises, this is what you get. We're still waiting for our OPs. We hope your expectations have been met. Next up is Mr. Vice himself.
I love it, everyone looking around like they think it's going to be them, but nobody knows. This is great. Boozing and cruising seems to be your way of life, even though you enjoy packed lunches made by your future possible wife. Juice cleansing seems to make everything better. Since you watch your weight so well, I think we'll just call you Heather. If I had to grade you on your voice cracking, I'd give you an A, but working for you was a pleasure, I must say. Redley, I love you, buddy, so come on up. There's plenty to go around. Come fill up that cup.
I feared you might have done this, so I figured I'd be prepared. I bring you up here beside me. Come on now, don't be scared. We had a lot of fun this semester, some ups and downs as well. We might as well end it all with one good story to tell. A story of two great-looking guys, enjoying a drink you need to chew. Come and join me, my amazing exec. I wish to share with you this brew.
First of all, I want to apologize after seeing Mr. Seidel make this to all these people I'm about to call up here, including myself. We have all been mistaken for each other, with the exception of one. That's because his hair is the color of the sun. About 4 years ago, a picture was taken. Who knew it would lead to a legacy that could not be shaken? The Fantastic Four from Alpha Flight stood together and strong, even when Gordon was uptight. This is the last time out for the Fantastic Four. Slow Peter is taking flight. Four is no more. Peter is taking his Mr. Fantastic talents to flight school where his skills can show. But just remember, Peter, to us, you will always be slow. Peter, you will be missed and it'll take some time to sink, so the Fantastic Four are coming up for one last drink.
Shot myself in the foot with that, huh? Sergeant Davis. I shot myself in the foot with that, huh? Brought on myself. It's terrible.
starring Mr. Herrera.
This grog goes to our friend of old.
Never washed his Camelback since freshman year. We're fairly certain it's going down.
Your black hair with a touch of gray.
Took no hostages and held no remorse on that fateful day.
You shot the hostage and his captor without a second thought.
When it comes to AF, you fancy yourself hot.
We don't negotiate with terrorists, you yell.
Through your actions, the world you compel.
You may not like drill, and you're still working on tying your shoes.
When it comes to Mario's fight, you claim to never lose.
You're a greasy Philly fan, loud and obnoxious.
The way you eat hot wings makes everyone nauseous.
You're not an early riser, and you always complain.
Just getting you out of bed requires a crane.
Can't wash, can't clean, and your snoring drives us crazy.
You always say you're busy, but you're really just lazy.
By now, you know who you are, so come up to the plate.
Drink from the grog and try to keep down what you just ate.
Next up, Mr. Sackett.
You big dumb idiot. You crashed your bike. You fell from your chariot. Why couldn't you get a trike? The 100s in your inspection line, they shiver with fear. They break the fine, for your evil is near. And the GMC may complain in mass, but you don't stop there. Even in Air Force class, there's no escape from all your hot air. But wait, there's more. You fell, yet again. Finding you a car became our chore. And much to our disdain, you bought a Mini Cooper. Now, besides me is a concoction that's homemade, and I'm told drinking it will make one sick as a dog. So please consider all your debts to be paid. And Mr. Moore, come up to the grog.
Next up, FTP staff. I wonder who they're.
Cut to it. She told me to have it done in 2 minutes. This is it. I better talk fast.
We spent plenty of quality time in our countless meetings, waking up early to load sandpipes in the trucks, having to push through field clips, weekly beatings, we and every TD with 1, 2, 3 poncho subs.
We worked hard and never asked for much for its role. Rack and stacks, Lucy's, and meetings, but most important, to worship you. This is what you deserve for putting Ninja on beat patrol. Just because you're a prince doesn't mean you get off scot-free.
Your words truly don't come true. You made a bunch of empty promises. Here's just a few. You said you'd get gloves, Oakleys, and shoes made by Nike. Just to give you some credit, you were like a crock of the 200s. Might as well say Crikey.
Your standards are high, your eyes are intense, an attitude you carry when you play Blue Beach with your friends. Don't miss the suspense, because that is my trigger. But go to the barn. What do you mean you've seen bigger?
You train pretty well, and dance even better. You've been to Chip Tech twice, and I don't think you're the scariest TO ever. Perfect trackers at 150 Lucy's is a tall order to make, and with James' TO, what have you been doing since January 8th? You've got a great switch to mask, that cute girly smile, but it's time for some payback, and it's been coming for a while.
Unfortunately for me, I've been stuck to your side, but I ran Squadron 3. You were just along for the ride. Now as a TO, I still take orders from you. Thankfully, your time as commander is through.
I made the PTs extra hard. I gave it all I had. But you cut half my workouts out because you thought you were fat. Now it's time to get you back. There's no point in talking smack. Because you had me shaking my head and saying darn. And I say you're trying with the ladies at the barn.
FTP is undoubtedly a time to prepare. We thought you were planning to be heady right from the get-go. Given 15 weeks, there's not much to spare. So when you gave us a month to get ready, we all thought this frog nomination was one we couldn't let go.
We always took your shifts, asking for nothing in return. Everyone knows you like your personal space. You look always so stern, except for when Boots tries to touch your face.
If I wasn't there to answer every question, we know how this mess would have gone. Even with all the awesome trips to the barn, it wasn't worth waking up at the butt crack of dawn.
Now finally, from your overworked exec, without whom this FTP semester would have been a total wreck. Sarah do this, Sarah do that. Okay, do what you're doing. So life in your countless tasks that are so mundane. Thank goodness your rule is over, you big dictator. Please don't be hurt, we can go get some Panda Express later. Now one last thing from your perfect, awesome staff.
Training Officer Poncho doesn't suck, but he will down his class.
To the bench.
Mr. President, violations are too rampant. I feel justice has been served and decorum of the mess has been restored.
I agree. The food tastes that much better since I have tasted that wretched drink. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be taking a 10-minute recess. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. It is now my honor to introduce our guest speaker for tonight, Colonel Matthew Wallace. Colonel Wallace was commissioned in 1992 from the University of Alabama. He has held staff assignments at Numbered Air Force, Major Command, and Headquarters Air Force levels within the Manpower and Personnel Directorates. He commanded the 45th Force Support Squadron, a combination of services and mission support squadrons at Patrick Air Force Base, Florida. Colonel Matthew B. Wallace is currently the commander of the 45th Mission Support Group, 45th Space Wing, Patrick Air Force Base, Florida. The 45th Mission Support Group provides mission support for range and launch operations, ensuring vitality of national space activities at the only Eastern launch base for DoD and commercial Atlas, Delta, SpaceX, and NASA shuttle vehicles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Wallace.
Good evening. I'm Colonel Matthew Wallace, and I will be giving you a 90-minute presentation on the strategic importance of air power across all spectrums. I'm just kidding. I'm really just kidding. My wife, she kicked me under the table before I came up here, and she says, "Matt, be short and be memorable." And I'm going to kick you again if you're not. So hopefully we can do that and have a little bit of fun in the process. This is just a tremendous honor to be here tonight. Seeing out and looking at all the cadets, all the young faces, just reminds me how old I'm getting. But it's, again, just thank you so much for having me and Shay and my friends here tonight. You guys this is an awesome place. And I hope you enjoy every second and every minute that you get to be a cadet here at Embry-Riddle University. So Lisette and Sean showed me around your campus today, and if you heard my bio, you know I'm from Alabama, born and raised, and yes, I went to the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. You might hear that from time to time tonight. So I saw your campus. Remember, I'm an Alabama guy. You guys have NASCAR. You guys have a beach that was shown on MTV for spring break. There's like 10,000 cheerleaders in your place here tonight. You know, if you guys only had football, this place would be the best. I mean, as an Alabama guy, you couldn't ask for anything else. It's just an amazing spot. So Embry-Riddle, excuse me, Det 157. How are you guys doing tonight? You know, Lisette told me you guys were the right of line to Hawaii's third bus trip, but you were the right of line. We won't forget about the rest. So how are you guys doing tonight? Yeah. Seniors, you guys are about to be lieutenants. Freshmen, you guys are about to be sophomores. Juniors, you're about to be seniors. Sophomores, you get to pick on freshmen in another year. How you guys doing tonight? This is your night. This is your time to celebrate. This is for seniors. This is your last night, your last time to have a formal environment before you become lieutenants. Celebrate tonight. Cherish tonight. Have fun tonight. This is your night. Before I go any farther, I'd like to say a couple thank yous. First of all, Colonel Ramos. Thank you, ma'am, for having me and Shay and the Margardinis in your cadet corps and in your presence. I don't know if you know the value of your PAS that she has. She's a colonel in the United States Air Force, a former group commander. She is decorated up and down the chain. She is a war hero. She's an awesome, awesome colonel. And if you guys, all you cadets out here, don't spend time and get to know her and ask her questions and pick on her experiences, then you're doing a disservice to yourself. Because she's one of the nation's finest. She's one of the Air Force's finest, and you guys get to hang out with her every day. Take advantage of that. Please, please take advantage of that. I'd also like to thank Cadet Lisette Nunez. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for the invite. I still don't know how you got my name. It was the bottom of the hat, maybe. 7 degrees of Patrick Bacon or whatever the guy is, and all of a sudden I'm here. But thank you for that email and asking if I would like to come out tonight. It's truly an honor, so thank you, Lisette. And to all the cadets at Embry-Riddle University. I keep thinking Alabama, but I'm not Alabama anymore. Thank you guys for having me. Outstanding, outstanding. I'd also like to recognize all the distinguished guests, all the folks who support all the veterans groups, the cadre, all the folks, the downtown, the dean. Thank you guys for being part of this celebration tonight. It really means a lot for y'all to be here. For those that are getting married, I heard, as I met most of you guys coming through the line, I heard a couple of y'all that were engaged, right? So when you guys become me and Colonel Ramos, when you speak, always thank your wife. Always thank your husband. Always. So Shay, my wife, my beautiful wife, thank you for being here tonight with us. I really enjoy you, and I love being here with us. Absolutely. Two more thank yous. If you get a chance to meet Miss Amy Marcardini, she's our friend from California. She flew all the way from California to be here with you tonight because her son is interested in going to university. I don't know if that makes her mom of the year, mom of the century, or what. She flew from California to be here tonight for you. So Cam Marcardini, her son, can be here. Can you two guys stand up? So these are our friends. They're very interesting. Please say hello to them. As we continue on these words, we're going to involve in the living room. So I used to be you. I'm an ROTC guy. I sat where you sat. And I remember 2 of my dining outs, and it was a long time ago, so we won't go back to the year that was. But I remember 2 in particular, my sophomore year and my senior year. And I stretched a 3-year degree into 5.5 years at Alabama, so I had several senior years. We won't go into that. But my sophomore year, I remember vividly, because I wanted to date a girl named Tammy Forsman. And I finally had the guts to ask her to come to my sophomore dining out. She came, and I must have sucked really bad because I don't remember her ever after that. But then my senior year, a young man by the name of General Chuck Horner was he was our guest speaker. I know many of you have phones tonight, and I know I'm probably not the most dynamic guy, but I'd like to do a couple contests tonight. Cam, can you stand up again? So General Chuck Horner, he was at my senior year. The first person, I'll have a couple contests. So as I go through my speech, I'll ask about 2 contests. Contest number 1. The first person to come up to Cam tonight with the answer of General Chuck Horner, what is he famous for in the Gulf War? What is he known for? With the correct answer. Find him, and then he'll find me, be in tow, and we'll make it worth your while. After the dinner, of course, and cadets only, please. Because the sober guys probably don't have to use our iPhones to know who he is. So cadets only. So that's contest number 1. Thank you, Cam. So in my speech tonight, as I was preparing, I have an exec, Captain Ben Thomas. He's a Virginia Tech Hokie. He's a lot younger than me. I said, what should I talk about? He's like, talk about things that are successful in the United States Air Force, and then tell stories about yourself and how did you make those successful things. That hopefully will keep everybody engaged. It'll be short, you'll be relevant, and you get off the stage. So I hope to do that. So looking back across my career when I was at Headquarters Air Force, I worked for a young man named Brigadier General Bear Ard, and he taught me so much about the Air Force, it's not even funny. One of the things he kept hammering back to me, he's like, to sustain success in the United States Air Force, timing, opportunity, and talent must come together. And I thought about that for a little bit, and it is completely true. When those three elements come together, magic happens. Now, the trick is to make them come together, and the trick is to figure out when those things happen. So for timing, you can't really know, you don't really know when timing is, and you can only be observed about when timing happens. Opportunity, sometimes you can create your opportunities by volunteering and doing other things. And talent's about working hard. Talent is the thing that you can control. Talent is what sets you apart from your peers. So I want to go off script a little bit here and give you an example of timing. Oh, I met a lot of folks tonight. Man, I met a lot of folks. AS 100 and 200 guys and gals and ladies and gentlemen. Can you please raise your hand? AS 100 and 200. You guys don't have to sit on the outsides. Keep your hands raised. Okay, if you're born in the month of December, please keep your hands still raised. Oh, wow. Okay, if you're born after December 19th, keep your hands still raised. There's 2 left? No, there's 1 left. One, what? One. Hey, can you stand up? What's your name? What was your birthday? December 29th. Let me give you, this is about timing. Did you have any idea I'd be talking about you tonight? I didn't either. Can you control this? I can't either. Are you going to take advantage of this? Yes, you are. Come up here and meet me halfway. I've given out 3 coins in my tenure as a mission support group commander. That was the 3rd one. So he could not control that. He had no idea what was happening. He was just here. Timing was on his side. Then I think about my story, and then I go back to Ben Thomas and said, tell stories about yourself. So I was born in Alabama a long time ago. I went to a small high school in Killen, Alabama. There was only about 50 of us in high school. So all of us really kind of played and got very involved in sports. You would think Alabama, big dude like me, we'll talk about PT test later, big dude like me plays some football, right? Well, 8th grade, I got run over by like a 3rd grader, and I don't remember what happened, so I stopped playing football. But I did play basketball, and I played baseball. And I played basketball to the point where I was very fortunate because I had an opportunity to play with some very talented folks. And we went on to win the state championship at Alabama. So I was the number 2 guard, and if you guys know number 2 guards, I'm kind of 6'2", and I got to shoot the ball a lot. That year was the 3-point opportunity was the first time that the 3-pointer came to mind. So in the state finals, we played them in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and the head coach for the University of Alabama was there to scout another guy that we were playing in the semifinals. Well, I had the best 3 games of my unfruitful life, those 3 games. So he saw me play well, and he sent my dad a letter, and he said, hey, can Matt come to the University of Alabama and walk on and play basketball? Well, my dad went to Alabama, my grandfather went to Alabama, my brother went to Alabama, who was an ROTC. All up and down the line, so I didn't really have a choice. I'm going to go play basketball at the University of Alabama. Now, like I said, my older brother was one of these guys. You know, a POC, professional cadet, awesome. I thought he was a nerd. Like, there is no way I'm going to join the United States. No way. Because I'm a basketball player. I'm staying in the athletic dorm. I'm a popular fella. Things are awesome. Well, that first year, Kurt Ramos, when you don't study much, bad things happen and opportunities are taken away. Freshmen and sophomores and juniors. Well, I didn't study much. So at the end of that first year, my father had that long talk with me. He's like, Matt, dude, you know, you're not going to make it in the NBA. You're a practice dummy. You have not really played. You need to think about doing something else. In comes my brother, professional ROTC. It looks a lot like you too. Matt, why don't you join ROTC? You know, we have a basketball tournament. It's in EZA. And you might get a job and we can, you know, do the rest and get those bad grades out of there. So I was like, you know what? All right, I will. I'll join that because I need A's and I can play basketball. So the first time in my young opportunity, timing meant opportunity for me, young Matt Wallace. And I joined ROTC 24 years later, I'm a colonel in the United States Air Force and get to be addressing you guys tonight. So, timing and opportunity. So now we talk about opportunity. General Horner, when he addressed us that night, I remember him very well. He's a general officer. He was a 3-star at the time. And he looked out across the room and he said, if I could do anything, I would trade places with each and every one of you in the room tonight because of the opportunities that you will have in our Air Force. And I'm sitting like him, I'm like, yeah, general officer, heck yeah. I'd do that in a heartbeat. The United States Air Force was going from 600,000 folks to about 400,000 folks. So the leadership chances, the leadership opportunities were going to be and numerous. And I think Colonel Ramos can agree, it was a changing Air Force that I entered. And sure enough, the opportunities were everywhere. I mean, they were everywhere. And I would dare say, I'm a manpower personnel guy kind of by trade. The Air Force is changing again. We're dropping from about 370,000 folks now to about 310. And the SecAF actually just came online, and she said we're going to stop at about 317. So that's another 10% drop in the United States Air Force as we drop down. What does that mean for you guys? Are you scared? No, don't be scared. That's an opportunity to lead. That's an opportunity to do things across this world, across our nation, across our Air Force. That'll be unmatched in your lives. I see myself standing up here and saying the same thing when I thought I would never say it. I would trade opportunity. I would trade seats with you in a heartbeat if I could be sitting here, knowing where the Air Force is going, knowing what chances you got, knowing what you get to experience. I would do it in a heartbeat. Oh, man, opportunities. So, if you read my bio, you got to see that I got to experience a lot of things, and I kind of wrote down all my opportunities from this young man from Killen, Alabama, that graduated with 50 people, and I was the only one to go on to school. Let me tell you some of the opportunities the United States Air Force has given to me. I got to watch the fall of the Berlin Wall. I got to check out Checkpoint Charlie. I drank vodka in Moscow in the New Kremlin. Golly, it's just awesome. I've seen the Eiffel Tower. I've seen the beaches of Normandy. I've skied on the Matterhorn. I've ran with the bulls in Spain. I've seen the Vatican. I've seen Auschwitz, and I stood on the train tracks of Auschwitz. I was part of the CV acquisition at Space Command, at Air Force Special Operations. I've lived through a hurricane, and I've been on a Caribbean cruise. Probably the most important thing is I don't mean to get emotional, but I won't get emotional about this, is I watched my Crimson Tide win 4 national championships while I've been in the Air Force. That's probably a big thing for myself. I've been to Ybor City. I've seen the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. I've seen the Lightning play. On 9/11, I was in Bubba Franks' staff meeting at MacDill Air Force Base and listened to him as we were about to counterattack the insurgencies in Iraq. And I watched him think, and I watched him do the things that eventually led this nation in that war. I've had timing and opportunity probably met perfect for me while I was in Tampa. At that time, I was a single captain, and I met this young lady to my left. And that was all about timing and opportunity. No talent on my part, but a lot of timing and a lot of opportunity. I was in the Air Force CAT when the Iraq War kicked off, and I had the Chief of Staff come down and talk to us about what was going to be happening. I had a guy playing bagpipes in the background, playing Amazing Grace. I've been to the Jefferson Lincoln Memorials. I've been to the White House, seen Congress, and watched 4th of July with the Pentagon. I've worked with Brigadier General, at the time, Brigadier General Susan Helms. This is our second contest for tonight. The second person that can come up to Cam, stand up, you remember who he is? The red guy talking. If you can come up to him and let him know, what is General Helms, what record does she hold? What records does General, and I'll give you a hint, she was in Air Force Space Command. So if you can get up to him, those 2 questions, those will be our 2 little contests for tonight. I've been a squadron commander. I've fished on Lake Okeechobee, that you guys probably don't know where that is. I've been to the DMC, I've walked on the Great Wall of China, I've been to Tokyo, I've been to Maui, Alaska, Canada. I've lived in all 4 US time zones and 3 foreign time zones. I've been to Hollywood, Las Vegas. I've watched the F-22 and F-35 fly. I've seen the shuttle take off and land. I've parked in the parking spot that Neil Armstrong parked in when he left to go walk on the moon. I've climbed Pikes Peak. I've watched the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football live. That was kind of cool. And Peyton Manning, I know he's from Tennessee, so I'm not going to give him more love than that. I've launched the rocket into space, Orion. I don't know if you guys saw the Orion as America moves back to space. That is awesome. I was in the Commander's Action Board, given the go-ahead for the MSG for the go for launch. And if that doesn't just give you chills, it's nothing more. It's America moving back into space. Those things, big or small, those were all opportunities that happened because timing and opportunity met for me when my brother asked me to join Air Force ROTC. So the third ingredient, talent. You know, and I think of talent in many ways. Talent is the thing you control. And don't think of talent being I'm more talented than him or he's more talented than me or she. Talent is what you bring to the table. Talent is where you work today. Talent is blooming, doing great things, having a positive attitude. Talent is what you control. Talent is working your rear end off on whatever job, whatever small. If you're sweeping up the gym floor, changing garbage, it's doing it to the best of your ability because people will be watching you. And in the United States Air Force, people are watching you all the time. If I didn't have that great 3 games in my high school basketball career and worked my rear end off and did well, Wimp Sanderson would have cared, and he would have never given me the opportunity because I worked hard every chance you get. And if that's one piece of advice I could give all of you, work hard, no matter who's watching and who's not watching. Work hard, do your best every chance you get. So in the United States Air Force, I've learned a couple things that you can do on your own to make sure that you can distinguish yourself from your peers as well as be successful. The Air Force Physical Fitness Test is one of them. And I'm sure everybody in here is very familiar with that. And you guys love doing that? Every chance you get, right? Cool. Well, for your next Air Force career, you'll love it more than more, because that is one of the things you can control. There's only a few things you can control as a future officer or airman or Air Force, and that is one of them. So you're asking me, Colonel Wallace, what are the other things you can control? Well, you can control your PME, professional military education. Do it often, do it early. If when you realize when you get in the Air Force, you can sign up for these classes and get your PME done before your peers. The last thing is get your master's degree. Get your master's degree as soon as you can. And now the Air Force is moving in a direction where the master's degrees are not as pushed, but I can tell you, as a senior officer, looking out across you, if I want to distinguish you from the guys or gals sitting beside you, those are the things I'm going to start looking at, the things that you can control. And then again, work hard, volunteer, do those hard jobs, get on your boss's radar in a good way, and do those great things that you know you can do. So, sustainment, timing, opportunity, and talent, those things coming together, just completely important for you to sustain success. I was very lucky, and sometimes you make your own luck with your own hard work. Well, thank you again for having me up here tonight and having the Maccardinis and Shay. Thank you for letting us come in and just be part of your wonderful evening. It just means so much to us. I'm, again, as you said, I'm a mission support group commander at an Air Force base just a few hours down the road. So if you're ever around that location, give me a call. I'd love to host you. I'd love to show you the United States Air Force behind the wall and show you what the things that we do in our wonderful, best Air Force in the world. Call me, look me up, shoot me an email. Said you have my email. Please give it to me whenever you want to give. I will never be too busy to take care of our future. And as I get off the stage, you are our future. Cadets, you are the United States of America's future. You're the Department of Defense's future. You're the United States Air Force's future. So as Colonel Ramos and I retire and go off and get on our boats and go down to Key West and we're toasting cocktails on each other and go, remember that grog and all those guys were pounding forks and saying all that stuff? We're in good hands because there's a lot of talent out there. And I've gotten to meet, I think I got to meet every one of them, didn't I? Yes, sir. And that was a training opportunity. Wow. So just do well. Be proud. You're a United States Airman. Be proud of that fact. And never forget who you are or where you come from. Again, thank you. Godspeed in all your journeys. Roll Tide. Did I get any of those? Was that just your spoon? All right. This is another chance. That was the first spoon. Cadet, stand up. What's your name? Meet me halfway. God bless America, and I hope to meet everybody again tonight. Enjoy tonight. Tonight is your night. And we'll see you around our Air Force. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel Wallace. Will Cadet Ridley, Colonel Wallace, and Colonel Ramos please step down in front of the head table to present awards at this time.
We need a microphone, huh?
For the Cadet of the Year, Eugene Dineza.
The Cadet of the Year, Sarah Osborne. Sarah could not be with us tonight.
Keegan Reynolds. For the AS400s. Do I get a drum roll for this one? Dwayne Klacha. For our super senior, Mary Costell. Okay, but we're going to do Eagle Wings first. Okay, for those, the cadet awards that we just handed out, those were made possible by General Spruance. And for those of you who don't know General Spruance, that's the name of our building. The General Spruance building, ROTC building. So each of those awards comes with a monetary amount, and none of that would be possible without his generosity. Obviously, he's passed on, and that generosity still continues. His son keeps on that tradition. Okay, before we get going, I guess this is something very exciting, I'm told. This is my first one of these, so I'm not sure. But before we begin, I do want to thank Colonel Wallace for your comments. That was really, really amazing. And I'd like to steal some of your words, if I may. Okay, great. Success. Success does not happen without timing, opportunity, and talent. I would like the following people who had amazing timing, took all the opportunities that they possibly could, and then some extras, and who have really great talent, to please stand up. Cadet Nunes. Cadet Dennis. Cadet Carr. Cadet Reed. Cadet Seidel. Cadet Dimmitt. Cadet Gladwell. The POW in my 18. The Color Guard. Reverend Keck. Phil Bellamy. And although not here in the room, the Hilton staff. And finally, last but not least, Miss Marie. I might have left someone else off. If I have, please forgive me. But if it were not for the great timing, the opportunities that all these people took or volunteered for, and the talent of these individuals, you would not have this evening. This evening, according to Air Force ROTC rules and laws, or whatever we're going to call those, could be presented to you in a PowerPoint. We have to teach you dining out. It doesn't say we actually have to do it. So what would you rather have? This or the PowerPoint? You must thank these people, please. One more time. Thank you all. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous evening. Okay, so it's time for the changing of the guard. This happens on active duty, this happens with you. It's a very serious event. For those of us that are leaving, it'll be one of relief, it'll also be one of sadness, because you're handing off your mantles to someone else. I'm going to break a little tradition. I really think the Eagle Wing staff needs recognition, because after all, they managed all the money for this event. So can the current Eagle Wing staff please come forward? And for our guests who are not familiar with what we're doing, it is our changing of a guard, it is our changing of command. We'll have a specific change of command for the wing commanders, but for the group commanders, this is where it happens for them. We have a new position in Eagle Wings, and the new director of ops will be, and please come forward, Spencer Pitcher. The new Eagle Wings treasurer, Kevin DeMarco. The new vice president and person who will take you through the races next spring, James Conlon. And the new Eagle Wings president, Cadet Dwayne Facha. Well, can everybody run your photo first? Okay, our current wing staff stands up here with their symbols of power that they are going to ceremoniously pass on to the next wing staff. For those of you that watched the video, there was a lot accomplished in the last 2 semesters. These folks have done a great job this spring, and the glass group did a great job in the fall. So you have a lot to build on, a lot of great foundations. The next, Field Training Prep Commander. Timothy O'Connor. The next IG. Should we have Darth Vader music for that one? Oh, that's really good. Robert Dimmick. The next maintenance group commander, Zachary Litza. The next ops group commander, Christina Lee. And near to Colonel Wallace's heart and my heart, and Kenneth Nunez's heart, the next MSG. Donald Snedeker. You ready? You want to give it up, or you want to stay for another year and do it again? The next, Det 157, Vice Wing Commander. They're a bit shorter than you. Kayla Reese. And finally, the Fall Wing Commander, so cool. Can we do that again? I should have joined the band. Kenneth Lauren. one word. I charge you all with recognizing your opportunities, having good timing, and please use your talents to the best of your ability for next semester.
So being presented to be the FTP Group Commander last dining out was a shock. I was so excited to get it and so excited to get started. But just the best part about FTP is you get a whole semester to just think about what you want to do. Think and think and think. But once you pick your staff and once you get going, it's the best experience of ROTC. The best job that we have to offer, and I'm so excited to see what you're going to accomplish with it next year.
All right, IG gets back. They're known for, kind of keeping the center of the wing and really hitting the nails in place. But I think you'll find a lot of gray area, and IG has a lot of good chances to flex leadership. So take it, hit it out of the park.
Alright, so maintenance group has the wrench. Me and the big man Kenny were talking about this. You show up to training, equipment's not there. I don't know what you're doing, but we're not having training. Equipment's got to be there. It's got to be there, right place, right time, right equipment. Our group this semester has done that every training day, so just keep that going.
For operations, Alpha Whip. I don't even know why. Pretty much opposite has been a legacy of outstanding cadets and now lieutenants, Lieutenant Romy, Lieutenant Jory, Mr. Conlon, and now me. Obviously. Thanks. But this, like Mr. Pacha said, you have to be thinking. You have to be 20 steps ahead, or if not, be interested. He will use the word. But I know you're going to do great for your future endeavors.
Alright, it took me a while to figure out why I had a chain. It's pretty heavy, so here you go. And I think the best thing I could come up with is you gotta keep everything together. You gotta keep all your staff together. And everything you do, including morale, you gotta bring it all together. So all this is gonna be your responsibility, and I'm sure you're gonna do a great job at it. Oh, one more thing, sorry. I received a coin earlier today, and it says, there is no mission without mission support, so good luck.
Alright, so a lot of people don't realize exactly what VICE is all about, and I'm sure Lieutenant Manning will agree with me when I say the wing commander is the face of the wing, he leads the wing, however you are the engine, you actually run the wing. Everything goes through you, everything happens, that's why you have this helmet. So when Kenny comes knocking on your head next year, you'll be able to figure yourself. But I'm sure you're going to do a great job, and we're all looking forward to it.
So wing commander is cool because you get two things. The first is floaties, because you got to keep the wing afloat. Right? If morale's getting low, you got to find a way to make it better. You're going to trust your people to do that for you. The other one's the hammer, because sometimes you got to bring the hammer down. And that's why the VICE has the helmet. But really, it's an amazing opportunity. Personally, I learned more in this past few months than I did in the other 3 years of ROTC. And I know that you'll do the same. You're going to watch your staff do amazing things. So you need to make sure that you give them a reason to want to work for you and to work for this detachment. Congratulations. Mr. Phil Bellamy will now deliver our benediction.
Would you pray with me? Father, thank you for a wonderful time with some really amazing people. Would you keep us safe as we continue to celebrate and remember such an amazing semester? And would you help these cadets and even us to finish strong and to remember and apply Colonel Wallace's advice on timing, opportunity, and talent, and even to never be too busy for our future. It's powerful. Thank you again for this time. In your name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Mr. Bellamy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join me in singing the Air Force song.
Mark.
Up in the wild blue yonder, fly me high into the sun. Here they come to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give the gun, hey! Down we die, spouting our flames from under, off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, we're down in flame, hey! Nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for their timing of the colors and the departure of the head table.
Colors, turn, post. Reset, hawk. Order, hawk. Retrieve, go. Go. Colors, turn.
Thank you once again for attending 2015 Air Force ROTC Dining Out. The mess is now adjourned. I hope you had a memorable evening and that you drive safely as you make your way home.